band plays the national anthem.
On that note, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the microphone to take a welcome address the Dean-elect of the Faculty of Arts, Professor Amuche Mado. Please, can we welcome her with a round of applause?
My acting Vice Chancellor, our distinguished professors, especially those who have honored us with their presence today to come and give some speeches about the life of our dear late Professor Gbileka. I'm talking about Professor Haye, Professor Awe, our own Professor Mabel Eweruma, Professor Marie, and Professor Hawa Imam, who will be on Zoom with us, EJC Wana, and other people that have indicated interest and came on their own that we might be recognizing later. Distinguished colleagues in the Faculty of Arts, our dear students, friends, relatives of the late Professor Gbileka, the entire university community at large, I welcome you to this solemn occasion this day. Faculty of Arts is known for our vibrancy, our entertainment, and all that. We lend entertainment to the university community whenever occasion arises for that. But today, it is a different story. We are here in a different mood, a sad mood, because death has dealt a big blow to us. We are here today in honor of our late daddy, friend, mentor, a great scholar, and I can say also a great reprimander, to honor his passage. You can agree with me that this is a different set. For the man whose names by acronym is also set. This set is pensive. And we don't have any objections. We cannot fight God, but to submit to the will of the Almighty God. I may not be the right person to talk so much about Professor Gbileka, but I can testify to his passion for mentoring because I benefited from that. When I came into this place as a young lecturer, assistant lecturer, he was the one that taught us how to do a CV for appraisal and promotion. I remember one of those days, myself and my dear sister, Dr. Emme, it was like, gave us like a punishment that until you get it right, you will not leave our office. And we learned by fire, by force. That's why I said he too is, or he was a great disciplinarian. I had to address Professor Sainz as, I had to address him in the past. I had to address him with words. But that's the true reality now for all of us. We all know that the Faculty of Arts cannot finish its story without mentioning the name of Professor Gbileka. He was the founding member of our great faculty, and he had passion to build even a greater faculty. And that is why I said that death dealt us a big blow, but we cannot question God. This is not a speech-making day. Mine is just a short remark to welcome all of you and to tell you that all of us in the Faculty of Arts are heartbroken, but we submit to the will of God. Thank you so much and welcome.
Please, can we have a loud round of applause for our able Dean, newly minted Dean of the Faculty of Arts. One more time, a round of applause. Professor Magic. I want to quickly recognize Professor Ubong Kasi. I don't want to call his nickname, but he's in the house. And one of the very first to come in here. So, I salute you, sir. Please, a round of applause for Professor Ubong Kasi. Thank you very much, sir. All the friends of the faculty and friends of the Theatre Arts Department, and of course, of Professor Saint Gbileka, I welcome you all especially. At this juncture, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the microphone our own very special Vice Chancellor. I am not in the habit of calling active. She is there, and she is there present. So help me welcome, with a round of applause, our own distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Aisha Sani Mekudi. Welcome. Watch the people.
The Dean-elect Faculty of Arts, distinguished professors here present, esteemed members of the Faculty of Arts, honored guests, dear colleagues, students, and beloved family and friends of the late Professor Gbileka. Good afternoon, good morning. It is with a deep sense of honor and solemnity that I welcome you all to this valedictory lecture in memory of a man whose life and work have left an indelible mark on our academic community, Professor Gbileka. Today, we come together to celebrate and reflect upon the life and legacy of a distinguished scholar, an inspiring educator, and a dedicated mentor. Professor Gbileka's contributions to the field of dramatic theory and criticism were not only profound, but also transformative, shaping the minds and careers of countless students and scholars who had the privilege of learning from him. His intellectual rigor, combined with his passion for teaching, made him a beacon of excellence in our university. He was not just a professor, he was a mentor who guided his students with wisdom and care, a colleague who supported his peers with generosity and insight, and a scholar whose work has left a lasting legacy in the academic world. As we gather here today, we are reminded of the impact that one individual can have on an entire community. Professor Gbileka's commitment to the pursuit of knowledge and his unwavering belief in the power of education were evident in everything he did. His scholarly contributions continue to resonate, influencing the discourse in the arts and enriching the intellectual fabric of our university. This valedictory lecture is not only a tribute to his academic achievements, but also a celebration of the values he embodied: dedication and a relentless pursuit of education. As we listen to the lecture today, let us be inspired by the same passion for learning that drove Professor Gbileka throughout his career. In honoring his memory, we commit ourselves to upholding the standards of excellence that he so passionately advocated. Let us remember him, not just as a scholar, but as a mentor, a friend, and a pillar of our academic community. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the life and legacy of Professor Gbileka. May his memory continue to inspire us all, and may his contributions to the world of arts never be forgotten. Thank you. Please accept my apologies. I have another engagement that I have to leave for. However, Professor Ugo Fasting will continue in my stead. Thank you.
Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja, Professor Aisha Ekuli. A loud round of applause one more time. Thank you very much, ma'am. We're going to get the band, but before the band, I have one poem by, where is she? Okay, it looks like she's not in the house. So we're going to take a musical interlude. Okay, we're going to take a poem titled Studying Occurrence by Henrietta was Luca, a 300 level student of the Department of Theatre Arts. Thereafter, the band will roll. Please, stand by.
my poem is a sudden occurrence. On this day, it wasn't his neighbor's knock. It was the tick-tock of the clock, echoes, rumbling drums, fire, dancing, songs, gyration, and a grand welcoming of a legend that wouldn't dwell in the midst of mere men. A true African giant whose thick black skin would be an honor for the sands to hold. An Africanist, a fully blooded Nigerian, a prominent educationalist. We call you the biggest masquerade. Your positive impact in our lives is your biggest legacy, sir. You are not just fatherly, you are friendly. I bet the angels know it's a king they carry, they should handle gently. You took it on you to mold and shape our brains and characters. You told us to embrace our great Africa. Professor Gbileka, indeed, you are an amazing mentor and teacher. Your advice, your encouragement and support seals down into our lives. Your powerful voice still echoes in our ears. From the moment breath ceased from your nostrils, tears became our companion. Yes, tears and more tears. If only tears could bring you back, then we'll cry a river bigger than River Benue till it floods you back to us. As much as it hurts, your words remain a source of life and hope, which you plastered into our heart, never to forget. Memories like streams. I won't call this a celebration of life. I'd rather say this is a sudden occurrence. Yes, too sudden to hear, too hard to believe, and too sad to think of. But we will forever love our dear Professor Gbileka.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a musical interlude, so please, you can one more time enjoy your presence, welcome one another, appreciate one another, celebrate one another. We are here to pay our last respects. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a musical break. Please enjoy the moment. God bless. My name, Agoma Agwaritoma, your host.
Here's to the wish you were here, but you're not concentrate. But the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the wish you were here, but you're not concentrate. Bring back all the memories. Memories, bring back memories, bring back you. be out someday. But everything gon' be alright. Go on, raise the glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the ones that we were. But tonight, as the dreams bring back, all the memories bring back. Memories bring back true. Cheers to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that were lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back, all the memories bring back. Memories bring back, memories bring back you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this song is now dedicated to the family of the late Saint Gbileka, to his lovely wife, to the Department of Theatre Arts, to the faculty, and to the university community at large.
No woman, no cry.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry.
No woman, no cry.
Cause I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet. Good friends we have, or good friends we've lost. We've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say.
No woman, no cry.
No.
No woman, no cry.
Come on, little darling, don't shed no tears.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry.
Say, I remember when we used to see in the government yard in Trenchtown, in the faculty of arts, and then Georgie would make the firelight as it was. Love would burn into the night, through the night. And we would cook cornmeal porridge, of which I'll share with you. My fear is my only carriage. Oh, while I'm here, I gotta keep on pushing through. And I know everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright.
No man, no cry.
No woman, no cry.
No.
always wondering why it is no woman, no cry. I've been telling myself that I need to put an album together. No man, no cry. Because if you think that we men don't cry, come and catch us in our quiet corners. Thank you very much. One more time, a round of applause for the students of the Department of Theatre Arts, the musical band. We have talents, very many talents in that area. I want to welcome in our midst, as they've entered recently, Professor Femi Jegede, former Dean, Veterinary Medicine. Professor Femi Jegede, if he's in the house, please do rise and take a bow wherever you are. Put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize and welcome the presence of Professor Uwakwe Abugu, Dean-elect Law. Can we put our hands together for him? You're welcome, sir. Please clap very well now. In case my daughter or my son wants to read law now, he will remember that I said they should clap for him very well. Let me welcome also Professor Lanre Aledeiton, my friend. Put your hands together for him. You're welcome, sir. Also, Professor Y.M. Salahuddin, former Dean, Management Science. Professor Salahuddin. All right, a round of applause for him. Sir, I've never really known your name. I've always admired your birds from afar. I like the way you deal with your birds. God bless you, sir. Welcome. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we are making progress and we're moving on to the next item on our agenda today, and it is that of speeches. You want to call them tributes? People who know or who know Professor Saint Gbileka. I like living in the present. I don't think he's gone. I think he's very much around. Professor Saint Gbileka has been a father to me. I met him about 32 years ago, 1992, when I came to do my youth service. And we had a production that we came with from NYC Drama Troupe. It was how I came into the department at that time, 1992. We came to produce a play. And from that period onwards, I became agglutinated to the department. And my passion for the theater took a better, bigger, brighter turn when I associated with Professor Sam Gbileka. He told me when I was doing my master's that, why do you want to write on film, Nollywood? What do you want to write about Nollywood that has not been written about Nollywood? My friend, why don't you write about your friend? Ali Baba, he meant. And today, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the very first book on stand-up comedy in Nigeria was the product of that particular discussion. My master's thesis, I turned into a book. And I'm proud to say that it was him that lighted my path in this journey. Why I'm a lecturer today? Professor Saint Gbileka. And he continued to encourage me. He supervised my master's thesis, supervised my PhD thesis, and I've heard stories of all kinds of supervisors, good, bad, and ugly, taking all kinds of they call it venison from their students. Not even a pin did I give to Professor Saint. It's why I am pained. Rather, he would invite me to his house, pounded yam always, beautiful soup, and a mountain of bushmeat. Say, Agoma, sit down there, eat, before we talk about your project. Sit down, eat. That was Saint Gbileka. And he came for the launching of my book. Rather, the same Saint Gbileka donated 50,000 naira to launch my book. And if I have any kind of challenge in this school, the only person I usually run to, one of the people I run to, let me use that clearly, Professor Saint Gbileka. He made, academics easy, scholarship, when he's dealing with us. Those of us he taught me, master's level, and of course, supervised my PhD also. Please, let me not stop here. Please, I want to bring on the best masquerade in the house, the biggest masquerade in the house, one who is also an academic father to Professor Saint Gbileka, one who has known him from way back. Help me welcome Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, a former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a former Minister of Health, a former Minister of Power and Steel, a former ambassador, Nigeria's former ambassador to Mexico, Nigeria's former High Commissioner to Canada, the present president of African Leadership Institute, United States of America, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, students, put your hands together for none other but Professor Iyowese. Hi, as he comes to take. Okay. All right. You know, maybe I'm taken by the spirit of Iyowese because I just felt the VC had gone. I forgot that he left another very, I don't want to use big masquerade, but another very charming masquerade in the house. Please help me welcome, representing the Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Bassi. Can we make it bigger for him? Because you don't know him. When you know Professor Bassi, you would want to make that applause bigger. Please, can we give him a resounding standing ovation for Professor Bassi? Sir, he's also my friend, my very big friend and very senior colleague. You're welcome, sir.
This one has stand up. I can't fear again. Well, I am Oboskolo Minigogo, Akpomyomyo. I will not say anything as regards that. I will not get into my real self because I'm here to represent the Vice Chancellor. But notwithstanding, along the line, I just have to be my real self. Chai, His Excellency, sir, you have been so wonderful to us. On behalf of the university and our acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Aisha Mekudi, I'm standing here to give a short speech about no other person than the living saint that is no more living. But saint is here with us. If you know that saint is here with us, put your hands together for him. I came in here quietly. At least I think I was the third person to be inside this hall. I quietly sat down, minding my business, trying to understand the rudiments of death and the situation that things occur. And man made the cry. Kai, how do you go? And then suddenly, they asking me to come and represent the VC. And definitely, with the solemn mood that I came in here with, people will understand that something has touched Oboskolo. My dear friends and lovers of the only saint, Gbileka, I give you people a powerful round of applause. When I say I give you, you give yourself for being here. Saint was not only an academic guru, he was an erudite scholar of repute, a sound personality, an exceptionally compassionate person that will not allow any rubbish around. Saint, oh saint. As an activist, Saint has been a chairman of this branch. I have been an activist, and I want us to give Saint, because he has been a true activist, a fighter to the core. Can we give Saint 3 bozas? Wherever you are, we know you are not too far from us, Saint. We thank you for all what you've done for this university, for fighting for the emancipation of the downtrodden, for speaking out and being yourself. Saint, worldwide, is known. He's an authority in the theater. Saint has published more than enough. Saint is a personality of repute. It's somebody that anywhere you enter, you will recognize him. Saint has been the orator of this university. Before I even came out to be the orator too, Saint has been doing it professionally, stylistically, and with all amount of high-class level of skills. My dear brothers and sisters, today is not a day for long speeches, because normally, like the dean was telling me, Prof, now, small. Me, I dey talk, you do good, I talk. You do bad, I talk. Saint has not gone. Saint is with us here. And I'm sure wherever Saint is, he's seen that the faculty and the university has done something for him. Ladies and gentlemen, Saint, my big brother, adieu. Bye-bye for now. All right. I'm not wasting time. Now, Oboskolo for 2 seconds wants to talk. When I was talking, saying I'm a representative of university. Now, I want to be Oboskolo. Ominigogo akpomiomio. No matter the situation, what I have to say, because of all what has been happening in this university, let's try to be happy no matter the situation. When I say things like this and I quote the Bible, people go say, yeah, this one's a Bible. There was a day I quoted this, somebody said they should check. I said, make them check. I was even though scared when I made a mistake. But they checked. John 16:22. No matter how depressed you are, like the family members, just remember that your joy, nobody can take it away from you. What is happening now is a scenario. And this scenario will pass. And it has started passing. And what is said there is that no matter how depressed, how sad, how unfortunate you find yourself in a precarious and perilous times like in this country that we are finding ourselves now, that everywhere is bastardized, that every second kidnapping. They tried even to kidnap me here in this university. My dear brothers and sisters, may God continue to help us. We shall survive. We shall survive, no matter how. Please, let me end there before I go come cry for public. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for yourselves. You know, normally, in situations like this, in places that I go to give talk, I dance. I dance a lot. And dancing is what is keeping me. Be happy. Since my stay in this university, I don't think that anybody has seen tears from my eyes. But today, I don't see say, man na man. But sometimes something can touch you and you become not a weakling. Tears coming out from your eyes is not that you are weak. It could be anxiety. It could be revenge. It could be pain. It could be joy. It could be anything. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Saint Gbileka, live it. Can we put our hands together for him again?
Professor Saint Gbileka, live it. Thank you very much one more time. That is Professor Ubom Bassi, representing the Vice Chancellor, Professor Aisha Mekudi. Please, can we give him one more time a round of applause? He says to the family that remember that nobody can take your joy away from you. And then he said, Saint worldwide. Saint is a titan to the core, an activist, always fighting for the emancipation of the downtrodden. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir. All right, it's that time now to bring on our big masquerade. I think I've done more than enough introduction. Help me welcome Professor, he always say, hi, the academic father of Saint Gbileka. Please keep the applause going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And I want to plead After this big masquerade, I won't tell him it's time. Every other person, please, I will give you timing. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
The Vice Chancellor of this great institution, Professor Maikudi, the Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Professor Madu, Principal Officers of this university, Deans, Directors, distinguished professors, distinguished members of the Faculty of Arts, my dear great students of University of Abuja, my family, the family of the departed great Professor Saint Gbileka. I want to thank the university very much for this valedictory session. And I know that wherever my brother and friend, Professor Gbileka, is, and I'm not saying wherever because I know that he's with the saints. He's now actually a saint gone to be with the saints. He would be nodding approval. He would be smiling because we shared secrets. We shared some of our most vulnerable moments in our lives. And just before he died, his faith in this university was badly shaken. But today, that faith has been restored. Wherever Professor is, he's smiling and he's with you and he's happy and he's performing along with you. And when he's so busy dancing with joy, Saint Gbileka was clapping in heaven. I've been with the great man, Professor Gbileka, for over 60 years. As far back as when he was a young pupil in the primary school. I had been several years ahead, but our paths keep crossing and crisscrossing. And I thought I had left him far behind when I forged on, went ahead, studied at Ahmadu Bello University, and just as I was graduating, I turned and looked back. He was also trying to graduate. And in what discipline? The theater arts. Was it a magnetic pull? I moved from the English language back into theater, and there we were. We collided and hugged when, after my stint in Senate, I came back to join with him at the University of Jos. Together with him, we have had exploits in the theater. Professor Saint Gbileka is a true erudite theater artist, theater ideologue, and a true performer, journalist, essayist, poet, playwright of a very deep, committed playwriting to nation building, which is a unique school of theater which he and I approached. I had the privilege of mentoring this young man, because I call him young man because I'm very much older than him. I had the privilege to mentor him. I had the privilege to watch his growth into first degree, second degree, third degree to become a professor. But something happened. Along the way, I saw the level of maturity that he had imbibed and the qualities of excellence that he extolled and the total sense of comportment and control that Gbileka had. He was an enigma to many, but I never, ever doubted the fact that to me he was a very clear person. We decided when it was our opportunity to send somebody to start this university. I had the privilege to be among those people who were to come up with a roadmap to establish a University of Abuja. And who did we consider better? In the department, we nudged him and said, Prof. Gbileka, that is a fertile land. Go to the University of Abuja and help them to build. He didn't just come here to be a head of theater arts department. He came here to suffer with the founders. He came here to turn the sword. He came here to toil, to manage the men of materials of this university, to bring out the clarity of the vision that established this university as the capital university. Today, we are honoring him. He has been head of department, dean of arts, dean postgraduate, and the only thing he has not been is to be vice chancellor of this university, but he was much more. He was a council member of the university. Professor Gbileka gave more to society than he asked. What he asked was very small. He asked for a space within which to share excellence. He was humble to a fault. He was kind. He was passionate and compassionate. He had sympathy and considered every human being as even better than himself. This, no doubt, has been because of his true Christian attributes, of our own upbringing within the Calvinist doctrine of extreme self-denial. This is the making of Saint Gbileka, a man that denied himself. I do remember that the work ethic Gbileka had was beyond the average of Nigerian professors and professors worldwide. He was among the best 5% of global professorship in the elite status. And good enough, together with Professor Gbileka, we couched the theater as discipline, as not a discipline for dropouts or discipline where people were dumped, but a discipline that took people, couched them, trained them, and made them into exceptional human beings. This was what we set out to do, and he did it excellently here at the University of Abuja. Professor Gbileka was more than that. He was also a politician, a grassroots politician who actually got elected into the National Assembly as a member of the House of Representatives, even though the coup that took place, or the death of General Abacha, made it impossible for them to be sworn in. Professor Gbileka was my advisor, my confidant, my friend, my brother, and even sometimes People believed he was my son, and sometimes I think I was his son too. So we shared this duality among us. We existed for one another, and we shared deep moments in watching this country move to where it is today. And the story is not good. The country is not doing good. And it is with deep regret that he's leaving when there's so much for him to do. As his brother and his mentor, he kept, in the last few days of his life, hanging around me in an inexplicable manner. When I came back from the US and was launching 3 new books I had written at the end of June, he busted there. He arrived there before I arrived because I ended up coming late. I arrived on the day of the book launch, and when I rushed the hall, he was sitting. And he said, "I'm taking charge." I said, "I know you will take charge." He said, "I'm reviewing the books." I said, "I had other reviewers, but since you are here, you might as well review, but review only one." He said, "No, I'll review 3. I said, "No, don't. Review only 1. That was the last speech that we got of Professor Gbileka, reviewing 3 of the new books I had written in order to be up to date with the works that we are doing together. And then I thought that was done. When Association of Nigerian Authors, Anna, was honoring me in July ending, Gbileka arrived at my house in the morning. He said, "I am escorting you to Anna." I said, "Really? With this expensive fuel situation in the country, you still manage to?" He said, "Don't worry." So he came with me to that event, and when we were going, something happened. I said, "Do you realize how many few pictures we have taken in life?" He said, "Yes." He came, and we stood, and we shook hands. And I have that picture, and I see in his face a certain saying of, "This is leaving you to eternity." So my regret is I wanted Gbileka to be the one to stand at the podium and to speak big grammar and to say some things about me which I possibly can never say here about him, because he was a master of words. He was a performer extraordinary. And I thought that when I die, Gbileka will be the one. But today, this is my unpleasant task as a father, as a mentor, as a senior brother, to stand here and to tell this university that don't cry. Gbileka did not withhold anything. He burnt himself out. He gave everything he needed to give to this university. He exhausted himself. He's given everything. And typically, being the leader of leaders he is, he led with a vision. And his vision was quite clear, to make this university one of the greatest universities on earth. And when he did that, he came to the very end of his life, a successful, a happy person, even though we don't know, even though it was so sudden, even though we ask God and we are angry. I want to encourage you, like I'm encouraging his wife and his kids and all of us associated with Gbileka, that the pain, the anguish of our missing Gbileka is nothing compared with the treasure and the joy of the memories we have of him. We will not stop mourning. I don't ask his wife to stop mourning or the children to ever stop grieving for him. And I will not stop grieving for him either. But I know that we will live around the grievance. The grieving, we will live around it. And it will make us stronger. And we will never be the same again. And we don't want to be the same. Because if we are the same, we will never remember that there is an eternity. We will never remember that we have a job, we must do it with total energy and commitment. If we do forget Gbileka, then we will forget the commitment that we owe Nigeria to be a greater country and the University of Abuja to be not just a regional university, but one of the best universities on earth, because he was the foundation, and the foundation was well established. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So much to take home from this talk. I think I just want to remember, he said that they did exploits together in the theater, and that Professor Gbileka was a true erudite theater ideologue, poet and a playwright, an enigma to many, who suffered and toiled with the founders to bring out the vision of the University of Abuja. Please, can we put our hands together for Professor? You always say, all right? I mean, let's put our hands together. I am not hearing the applause. But most touching, he said, people believed that he was my son. And sometimes I think I was his son too. How humble. Please, one more time. A round of applause. Professor, he always say, hi. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We will not forget Professor Gbileka. We won't forget him. Next, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome another of my teachers, very quiet, very humble. Help me welcome Professor Wakondo Agbe. With a loud round of applause.
Members of the high table, children of Professor Gbileka, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to say anything because I'm feeling so emotional. How will you not, when you lost somebody, you've been friends for 40 years? We met when we did our youth service in the old River State. He was in Port Harcourt, and I was posted to what is now by Yelsa. I swim like a stone, but here was I going to a place where I had to travel for 2 hours by boat. It was something very strange to me. But he encouraged me to go. He says sometimes such experiences make us what we are. I used to visit him because he was serving with the River State Council for Arts and Culture as a cultural officer. And he was very creative, and everybody in the theater there loved him. In fact, he has kept some of the friends up to today. I remember Columbus, who was there, and they've been friends ever since. We came back. He started work with the Benue State Civil Service. I told him, you are not cut out to be a civil servant. Luckily, I think it was Professor Hai who created a vacancy for him in UniJOS, and he moved to JOS. And he made a name. People don't know that he was a great director. When he came here, for whatever reasons, he stopped directing. But though not a core theater artist, I love to watch him direct. Anytime I was in JOS, I would go to the open air theater, sit with him. Of course, it was a very cold atmosphere. But he didn't mind. He will create very beautiful plays with his students. Now, when he came here, he wanted to start a great department and brought in very great minds. Professor Mabel is here. Johnson is in Uyo, and others. It was a very vibrant department. But he called me and said, look, we're looking for a mass comm lecturer. Can you come? I said, no, I don't want. He said, no, come. Let's build something together. I said, look, I was a fresh student of Calabar, and it wasn't funny. I don't want to be in a new place. When I came for the interview, the place was like hell, because then I was doing something in JOS. And moving in from JOS to here, see the contrast. But he encouraged me to come. So I came. We are together for so many years, foray into politics and back, and so on. But what I can say is he was a very devoted scholar. And you can know from, yes, you can know from all that he did, all his teachings, his students he created, the PhDs he produced, those he mentored, those he recommended for professorship, associate professorship, and so on, are so many. We have to bury him in a hurry because of tradition and because of religious implications. If not, this place would not have contained all that he produced. So he was very vibrant, not just as a creative artist. He was an epitome of theater. Everywhere he was, he showcased that. And he loved people. Everywhere he was, he loved people to be around him. You go to his office, you always see his students crowding him. Everywhere he went. So he loved people. And he loved to create. Either he was clowning, and he wrote something on clownish characters, which he epitomized, or he was creating fun everywhere he went. And in the theater profession, he was so loved, becoming president of SONTA at one time, and a fellow of SONTA. So he was a great man. It's unfortunate that we have to miss him, but there is a chief artist who said death is like a tax. When God calls, we have to pay. He was my friend, like I said, for over 40 years, 44 years, and we have been together for a very long time. He helped the university, but I think the university was not fair to him. If I don't say that, I won't be happy. The university was not fair to him because certain things happened, and the university did not approach them very well. And he was so pained that he gave his life to this university, leaving the comfort of Jos, coming here to suffer and create something. Those of us who knew him in Jos, he was staying in a 4-bedroom house, coming here to pick a 2-bedroom. That's a demotion. He was lecturer 1 in Jos, he came here as lecturer 1. So it's somebody who sacrificed for this university, and at the end, the university was not fair to him. But for those of us who are Christians and even in Islam, they say that we should forget and forgive. If we don't do that, God will not be happy with us. I won't say much more than this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The fact is, it is getting like we're going, I won't say thank you very much. The university was not fair to him. But as believers, we should learn to forget and to forgive. Thank you very much one more time, Prof. I appreciate you, sir. Can we put our hands together for Professor Kwakondo Agbe? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, time again for another titan of the academia, another of my teacher. I call her my big sis. Please put your hands together and as I bring to the podium Professor Mabel Evieroma, an academic titan. Welcome, ma. Please, ma, watch your leg.
Thank you very much. The setting before this podium is just like our society. You have to watch your steps wherever you are. Acting Vice Chancellor, Dean of the Faculty, Professor Haye, the children of Professor Gbileka, our dear colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen, and those of us who are online, a very good afternoon to you. I titled this short speech, and I also imagine I'm at the faculty board, because this is a faculty program, addressing the Dean of the Faculty by making this submission to all of us. For Zaki, the prized cockerel, the curtain fell too soon. Tribute to Professor Saint Savnav Gbileka, F. Sonta, at the valedictory program held at the Faculty of Arts, University of Abuja on August 29, 2024. When a tree falls, and rapidly so, the sound reverberates all over lands and forests, and even the waterways, send ripples over their variety of surfaces. It is already a fact that tears flowed and continue to flow on the call to glory of Professor Saint Savnav Gbileka, F. Sonta. The tree dropped and the shade for shelter is gone. No wonder the Igbo sing, Ọnwụ wonyosho, Ọnwụ wonyosho, Ozuro Balaga, meaning death steals and flees. The Department of Theatre Arts and Faculty of Arts, University of Abuja, have lost one staff who pioneered greatness through thick and thin, one who helped in laying the sustaining foundations on which this great institution was built. When we consider the tripartite functions of an academic, which include teaching, research, and community engagement to town and gown, Professor Gbileka, F. Sonta, rendered them duly with the opposite recognition a scholar should have. Through well-known scholastic university traditions at Jos, Ibadan, and Abuja, his skills were honed from tutelage to the pinnacle of university echelons, having been taught at GSS Katsinala and commenced academic coaching and mentorship at St. Michael's Secondary School, Aliade. Gbileka was not just a teacher of theater art in every area of its practice. He was in no particular order a journalist, orator, a PR person, politician, communitician, educational, culture, and political activist, a father to the agnate and non-agnate, poet, dramatist, storyteller, singer, dancer, and, but most important of all these, a passionate and radical builder or strengthener of dreams stationed on hope, even when they seemed inchoate. In addition, his recent focus on the drama of collective hope and mobilization for human liberation may have emanated from his roles in all those areas mentioned and other spheres of life. Priced Chickens Are Not Tasty, published in 2002, Bishop Bassi, 2014, especially among his other plays, owe a lot to social mirroring, myths from his Steve homeland, and life experience. And I say, Ayatutu Kauno. We also say that the hero in the latter play, Bassi, says, humanity in its entirety abounds in rich resources. The lazy, prone to idleness, sit down grumbling. The creative, without boundaries, regale in their creativity. I sought life. I found it. Like nectar, I savored it. And like the swan, I will bid farewell with a song. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh. It was good while it lasted. Blessed be the name of the Lord. These words by Bishop Bassi can be taken indeed to be Professor Gbileka F. Sonta's swan song. Before that particular speech, Bassi, the fakery expert in bishopric, and we have many of them in society, laments. Several times in my life, I have visited the valley of death. Bishop Bassi says, I came out not really knowing how and why. Today, I have a story of success, a struggle for survival. I had to leave, but my detractors are jealous of my success, and they won't let me be. How true of the life of Professor Saint Gbileka. In the first play above, Akende, the visionary thermostat, urges his comrades to rise to action with caution. Just a moment. In this exercise of repairing the land, we should be seen to maintain justice, each unto his measure. Gbileka was a socio-political dramatist. The world, including all of us here today, were his audience spectators. The audience reception of his works has been spectacular, emanating in studies across the levels of higher education and many reviews. Professor Gbileka F. Sonta was the pioneer head of department, we've heard that, from 1990 to 1995, and thereafter served in different teaching and non-teaching governance spheres, especially as dean, member governing council, many that they have mentioned. The title of this speech arose from his role as Zaki in the social commentary radio program Zuma Echoes, which is still fresh in the minds of radio listeners in Abuja and its environs. In the realm of Nigerian politics, his service as Chief of Staff to Governor Gabriel Suswam, as he then was, from 2007 to 2015, is still fresh in the political memory of not just Benue State, but those who know the state. Saint Nguyave. Saint Nguyave. Saint Nguyave. I want to refer to an earlier tribute, which is also relevant here, where I averred that death has created a physical and symbolic crater in the university community that is difficult to fill or repair. We lost a dynamic and multifaceted Professor Gbileka. It is difficult to come to terms with the sad news or fathom any consolatory stance arising from the big shock, except to surrender to God. We miss Professor Gbileka, and we know that his roles, for example, in going down memory lane, include his work in Sonta as a member of the executive committee, and I recall her acting in Wole Soyinka's Child International in 1993, arising from the plan for occasional joint acting by staff, students, and members of the University of Abuja community. He was engaged in adjudication duties, and of course, I just mentioned Zuma Echoes produced by Samson Alhaji Shaibu, and several community theater experiences. These interventions created distinct learning curves for the participants, proof that there is always an opportunity to learn in every context. The grief felt by us all within the department, university, and outside of it is deep, indeed very deep. Without the only living saint who is now an ancestor or a spirit, the deficit is better imagined. Humor, spontaneous dance and song composition, eruptions of ideas for scholarly interventions, critical disputing on topics in drama, gender theater, and the propriety of contemporary practice in films, and of course, the relevance of Marxist thought to our contemporary political ferments are all gone, including that strong voice and stage presence. Thank God, the artist lives, he does not die, for art is long. We lost a colossus, and our tears flow, they are yet to dry. Saint Nguyave, saint sleeps. I pray that God comforts Mrs. Caroline Gbileka, the children who are with us here today, Dom, Avakav, and Sewese, the grandchildren, extended family, NKST Church, Zaki Biam community, teachers, colleagues, friends, University of Abuja, ex and current students, and others that he left behind. Death made Gbileka to step away in a regal dance to eternity without any notice given. This surreptitiousness is what dumbfounds us all. No notice was given. May the soul of Professor Saint Savnav Gbileka, F. Sonta, rest in perfect peace. Amen.
It couldn't have been better done by none other but our own academic title. Please, with another round of applause, let's say thank you to my teacher, a big sis, Professor Mabel Eberuma. Thank you, ma. She said, we miss Professor Gbileka. a staff who pioneered greatness, a journalist, orator, politician, poet, dramatist, singer, and dancer. And she said, the artist lives, he does not die. Saint sleeps. Ayatutu Kaono. Ayatutu Kaono. Thank you very much, ma. One more time. Our hands together. God bless you, ma. Okay, we're going to move on now to somebody who's going to educate us a little about our departed saint, who has gone to be with the saint, like Professor Haye said. Help me welcome Professor Musa May Samari with a round of applause. Put your hands together for him as he comes forward. You're welcome, sir. Please watch your steps. You know, in this life, we need to watch our steps. Thank you.
I'm trying to get the right word to describe the representative of the acting Vice Chancellor, a temporary representative of the acting Vice Chancellor, my friend, Professor Basi Obom. The Dean of the Faculty of Arts, the faculty, our friend, labored to make it be on its feet. For the head of department to acknowledge her, but I know she must be engaged somewhere. Wherever she is, I want to recognize her. Our big brother, I never knew you. I never schooled in Jos when you were in Jos. I've never had the privilege of working in the ministry where you were a minister in various ministries. But courtesy, my friend, Professor Gbileka, I have not only known you, you've been good to me. The latest publications of yours, I have their copies as complimentaries, and many other things that we shared with Professor Gbileka of what we will be doing. Our post-retirement plans, you were part of it, sir. Members of the theater arts, a department that is never silent, a department that has no depression because they are the people trying to motivate people to come out of their depression, the entertainers. I greet all of you, Professor Mebe, Professor Agbe, and the other, my friend, Professor Shonebo. Other younger colleagues there, please permit me if I not call you by names. Professor Gbileka is known to all of us, but we know him at different levels. And we are describing him like the blind man who described an elephant. I will tell you about Professor Gbileka as a social man. Mabel has said what she knows, his role in academics. I will tell you, Gbileka is a lover of his people. Every sentence Gbileka would give, he will go back to Zaki Biam. In his most uplifted moment, when he is happy, I started dancing swange because of Gbileka. He must play it. Every moment, if Gbileka is happy, he must play his thief music. At a point I will tell him, don't turn us to a thief community in University of Abuja, my friend. That's how we speak with him. No one tells Gbileka no, except me. That is what I know. And I'm sure the children, particularly the son, knows that if I'm out with Gbileka, he should be comfortable, that he is in safe hands. Gbileka is a social being who loves being with people. I call him a gregarious human being. There is no dull moment with this man. He doesn't segregate. He will tell you the story of his friends from Katsina. Somebody will remember somebody he tells about Kabiru, somebody by Mambaye. That is the kind of human being. He will tell you his exploit during his NYSC in Bayelsa. He will tell you his political activities in home. And if anybody would quarrel with Gbileka, that person must question himself, because quarreling with Gbileka is like quarreling with yourself. He will tell you the naked truth, and if you are a good man, you must accept it. And even when he is wrong, he comes back to say, I realize you were good, you were correct. And I think that was the Christian spirit. And I think that is the spirit that should live in all of us. My regret today is that I'm a little bit younger than Gbileka. But I think in this university, if people must speak the truth, there are few people that will say they were closer to him than me. I hate to remember that I've lost a friend. I've lost somebody I will sit out with, chat idly, chat meaningfully, chat with him without fear of being taken and misrepresented outside. We talk frankly and honestly to one another. People have said he is a crusader. He's a fighter. Yes, he's a fighter for justice, not malice, not to destroy, to complement, to build, to reconstruct, and to make sure there is progress in the society. Some of us may feel disappointed that he is not fulfilled in his mission to the University of Abuja. But I think he is fulfilled looking at the caliber of people he has trained. The dean has just told us that she is his mentee. If you have a mentee that is already a dean, not just a professor, you should be fulfilled. And many, 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 many are here. Once I get tired in the Faculty of Education, the next place I come to sit and relax is Professor Gbileka's office. When I walked to the faculty for the first time since his demise, I didn't want to look at the office. I wanted to walk straight here until Agbe beckoned on me. Come, we're here. That was right, sir. I didn't want to look that side. And I remember of that man. There will be no day you will get to Gbileka's office, the students are here, that you will not meet 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I would have to chase them if I want to discuss something very private. And what does he do? All of them. Sir, what do you have? Let's take. They will eat his biscuits, drink his water, even ask him for transport money. That is Gbileka. So when people sit outside there and say teachers exploit students, I say there are exceptions. There are exceptions, if you must tell the truth. I think in Gbileka's case, students exploited him. Those who have will pretend they don't have, and he will give out. Those who didn't have genuinely, he will help. And I know how many thief students he has paid their school fees, not being biologically related to him. I know. Not to talk of those he secured admissions for them. I know. If a man is a good man, what else can he do than to help uplift your status through educating you? What baffles me, like somebody has rightly translated, death is a thief. He has stolen our friend at the time we needed him most. the struggles we are trying to ensure the university is correctly positioned. He has played his part. It's our role to take over. And my words to his children. I'm happy. The first day I saw Avaka, he said, my father has left a big shoes. I am not able to fit. You must fit in. You must take that courage. Since you know he left a very big shoe, you must grow your foot to fit in. Whatever it takes, a word is enough for the wise. Whatever it takes, you must grow your foot to fit into that big shoe, because that big shoe cannot be reduced. The size cannot be reduced. Young ladies, your father was a great man. The only way you can honor him is to keep the good legacies. You have heard people spoke, and nobody spoke just to please people. That is who he is. That is the reality. You must excel like he did. If we are talking stories, he will tell me, I had my PhD in 1982. I said, Prof, that was when I was doing my NCE. Please don't talk. The last time when we came from Kefi, he said, Musa, you are still looking young. I said, I'm not contesting age with you, Prof. I know you are much older than me. That is the kind of human being. He associates with everybody, including those who he taught as his equals. Please be approachable. Be receptive to good ideas. I'm happy. If I call him, you have a good grandfather, I wouldn't be wrong. Professor Haye has shown he is a man to identify with that family. From day one, I've seen him. Prof, I thank you very much. There are those I think politically he should have, or we should have seen them more. But we are seeing you the most. And I believe that is from your heart. And I believe that is what you are going to do to keep the family. Those that err, please knock their heads. They are your children. God will bless you. MC, do you mind? Hawa is away in America, and she said I should read her tribute. Or do I give it to you, read? I think I should give it to you to read. No, she said she can't be. She's just sent to me. So I will give it to you to read as the orator of the day. Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, can we put our hands together one more time for Professor May Samari? I was moving to and fro, not like the devil, but I was moving to and fro, so I didn't get quite much, but I still got a little from what he said. He said Prof was a social being who loves being with people. He says quarreling with Gbileka is like quarreling with yourself, because he will always tell you the truth. And then death is a thief, or a thief, he says. He stole our friend at the time we needed him most. Thank you very much, Prof. We appreciate you. One more time, can we put our hands together for Professor May Samari? All right. This is an ode to Saint by Professor Imam. It says, goodbye, Professor S.E.T. Seth Gbileka. Your destiny has been fulfilled. As your light gently fades into the night, your legacy lives on. Despite the heartache, your impact on our lives will forever be sustained. Memories of shared laughter, tears, and camaraderie echo loudly. Your legacy blazes forth, illuminating paths through life's darkest plight. In death, you have found release from life's turmoil and strife. Rest now, dear saint. Your life's journey is accomplished. May your passion for this university, devotion, and legacy live on forever in our hearts. We commit your widow and family to God's care. May He strengthen and comfort them and all those who mourn. Amen. By Professor Hawa Imam. Thank you very much. That was short, quaint, to the point. Thank you. Can we put our hands together for Professor Hawa Imam? We'll be taking the next tribute from another veteran guru, one who has been with him for close to over 30 years or more, I hear. I thought I was the closest to him with 32 years, but he always says 60 years. And some other persons, Professor Gbileka, said 40 years. You know, sometimes you think, I know, let me be Prof, best friend. But I must say this, I am truly very cheerful because every time I enter Saint's office, I walk out with a smile. That is truth. That is true because he is always laughing, full of laughter, smiles, always full of encouragement. Okay, let me bring on stage Professor Wana, EJC, former Dean, PG School, former DVC academic, member of the 9th Governing Council, Professor of Pathology and Forensic Medicine, College of Medicine. Now let's find out the connection between the saint and this man of medicine. Please welcome Professor Wana, EJC, with a loud round of applause. And before he takes the microphone, I want to quickly recognize two very, very distinguished gentlemen. Sorry, sir, just give me a minute. And if I don't do this, I won't be doing myself any service. The Vice Chancellor, Benue State University, Professor Thor Irapo. Another very, very big masquerade in the theater world. Please, sir, do stand and take a bow. Professor Thor Irapo, you're welcome, sir. Mona clap, Mona clap. I'm trying to bribe the man. The man, they owe me one money for somewhere he never pay. Also in the house, Professor Alex Asigbo came in while we were on. He was the former president of SONTA, Society of Nigerian Theatre Artists. Professor Alex Asigbo, a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Yes, I was told to bring him to the high table. Thank you very much. Please, sir, the Vice Chancellor, Benue State University. Please keep the applause going. Keep the applause going. Make una the clap, una the clap. I'm doing public relations here. You're welcome, Prof. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. So now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Professor EJC Wana. Thank you, sir. Dean Faculty of Arts, University of Abuja. The Acting Vice Chancellor, ably represented by Professor Augustine Ubombasi, aka Oboskolo. Professor Yowese Haye, Your Excellency, members of the family of Professor Saint Emmanuel Savnav Gbileka, my distinguished colleagues, our distinguished students, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the Faculty of Arts, led by the Dean, Professor Uche Madu, for the honor of this invitation to be here
to speak on behalf of my friend and brother, Professor Saint Emmanuel Savnav Gbileka. I am thoroughly humbled. Today, I never expected that a day like this will come in the life of Saint when we are still alive here. Saint was like a senior brother to me. He was in the arts, I am in medicine. We bonded when I came over here to assist as pioneer staff in setting up the medical school here in the University of Abuja. During my tour of duty in management, I always ran back to Saint to get advice and opinion. Even when we disagreed on some policy matters, we remained best friends. As I stand here, I find it very difficult to talk of Saint in the past tense. When it happened, I shouted and said, I think Saint is trying to take this theater to another level. Why would he just go and sleep? Was still in my own department. Distinguished audience, permit me to do my little tribute by reading from portions of Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son. Abraham Lincoln was one of the greatest presidents of the United States. He wrote to his son's teacher, and I quote, from Lincoln to his son's teacher, you will have to learn that all men are not just, all men are not true. But teach him that for every scoundrel, there is a hero. For every selfish politician, there is a dedicated leader. Steer him away from envy if you can. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Let him also learn that bullies are the easiest to lick. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books. Teach him that there is no shame in tears. Teach him to be gentle and be gentle with people. Professor Saint Gbileka was for me an institution.